Recently, George was invited back to Mississippi for a retrospective look at his accomplishments, including an esteemed celebration and a big surprise. While back in Mississippi, George was invited to his hometown. There, he enjoyed a trip down memory lane.
I remember very well when Johnny Arnold store was here. I used to buy all my clothes here.
Okay, all right.
Right.
So right here in this building. That's wonderful.
And although George grew up in Baldwin, he never received his high school diploma due to enlisting in the Navy at an early age. Well, the city of Baldwin recognized this contribution, among others, at a special ceremony.
Good evening, everyone. It is indeed a pleasure to be here, to return to Baldwin, a place where I was born and reared.
As a child, George was a leader. In every game we played or program that we had, George led the whole group of us.
We have got a key to the city here that we want to present to Mr. George Wardlaw on the day, May the 26th, 2015, from Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Baldwin.
That came as a real surprise to me. And it's very meaningful to me to be given the key to the city as a part of the recognition of, hopefully, my accomplishments over the year.
George, I think, has a love for Baldwin. I think he wanted to come back and do the very thing that he is doing right now.
George never received his high school diploma. Learning that he volunteered his time when he was a junior in high school to serve in our military was really, really touching to me.
To receive an honorary high school diploma was something that I had discussed with my family, and my grandchildren will be absolutely thrilled, and they will also respond like, "Oh, Papa, you just graduated." I look forward, after this wonderful experience and the Jackson experience, of returning to my studio and continuing my work and continuing the challenge and the opportunity in the future. I'm so appreciative of what this trip has meant to me and what I have to take home for my work and for my family. And I thank you dearly for the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Abstract expressionism is about working out of yourself and developing your own subject matter.
However my life developed, that's the way my art has developed. It has developed in a way out of the way that I perceive my life of living.
We're excited here at the museum to be presenting a retrospective of George Wardlaw's works called A Life in Art. His works from 1954 to 2014.
I think this painting was a liberating painting for me in the sense that it moved me of being conscious about objects, etc., to being about dealing with my internal being.
It's interesting for me that with George, he really moved from his abstract expressionism to doing these figurative expressions of the Hudson River Valley, and then apples. And his apple series really stemming from his connection to the land.
I'd say the next really major breakthrough for me came with the apple paintings when I moved from Louisiana to New Paltz, New York. And the two things that impressed me was the Hudson River Valley and the fact that my wife and I were living in a house that had an apple orchard in the front and an apple orchard in the back.
And to me, that's something it's very distinct and characteristic of Mississippi artists, is that kind of really rooting themselves where they are and that becoming an expression in their work.
3 people from the museum came to visit my studio in Amherst, and they looked at many, many works that day, and then they brought back images of the work, and they ultimately decided this painting for the permanent collection.
Guardian of the Light is a kind of composite of these different weather patterns and textured surfaces that you find along the main coastline.
It is about the shore. It is about weather. It is about lightning.
I think that there's a narrative quality to it and a kind of mystery and a curiosity about it that I think really come from all of his works.
That, it's very, very faint. It's part of the world beyond here. This is a part of the world in your space. And does it come from that world? What world does it come from? I don't know. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
I think it's significant for Mississippi and our museum to be presenting George because he is from Baldwin, Mississippi, and he was in the Navy in World War II and used the GI Bill to go to the Memphis Academy of Art. I think it's meaningful for us in the state to be able to look back at that trajectory and see what a Mississippian has done to bring who we are to others around the nation.